Scott, a weekend without a game for the New Saints last weekend. Someone's dropped back into second in the JD Welsh Premier League, but nevertheless, still a fantastic position to be in. Just 2 points off the top with 2 games in hand.
Yeah, that's right. It's one where it's obviously in our own hands. We would have preferred to play obviously at the weekend because we had a great victory against Connah's Quay, and you'd like to then go on and get another one, but it wasn't to be. Boys had a bit of a rest over the weekend, and we're back to it now to concentrate on Bala on Friday evening. Yeah,
the first of those games in hand is in fact against Bala this week. The Lanesiders have won just once in the league since Boxing Day, coming last week 2-0 at Barry Town. They appear to be getting slightly back on track, but it's going to be a very tricky game to navigate.
Yeah, you look at the games we've had against them this season. We've drawn both games, and I think the first game, I think they set their stall out well and sort of stifled us a little bit with their game plan, and we just couldn't break them down. The second game, I still feel with 10 men we should have won the game. We did more than enough in the first 30 minutes to suggest that we were on top. Obviously, sending off to change games, and you're always up against it when you're against 11 players and you've only got 10. But I thought we're more than capable of still beating the side even with 10 men.
It's been a superb run of form for TNS in recent months in fact, unbeaten since November and 10 wins from the last 11 games. Also been no league goals conceded in open play since, perhaps ironically, we played Bala in December. What would you put that superb run of form down to?
I think a change in mentality, a change in work ethic, a change in the way maybe the staff did things. We spoke about it. We had a little meeting. We didn't go on about it too much, but told the boys, look, you need to get on a run here of 10, 11 games. We need to be winning. You can only afford to get the odd draw because we were, I think at the time, probably 4 or 5 points behind the other two, and it was a difficult situation, but I think we got together. You can see the squad has grown. Momentum has been with us, like you say, and to concede only, I think 14 goals is it. 14 goals is an excellent return, and the amount of goals we've been scoring too is averaging nearly 3 point something, four goals a game, which is excellent. So with those stats, they marry up, don't they? If you keep scoring lots and making sure that your defence is mean, you're heading in the right direction.
It must be a real selection headache for yourself, with so many players on form, so many working hard in training who perhaps are missing out on the squad just through no fault of their own.
No, and if you look at players who have missed out recently, and it's very difficult. On one hand, you've got a full squad together, and it's great, but then you feel for the players that are training really hard, players that can step in and do a job for us, and just can't give them that game time because you're going with a different formation, a different shape, a different player for that game. If you look at the last game against Connah's Quay, playing without that recognised number 9, whether they were going to play in the 9 or the 10, is just something we thought would help us, and it did in the end. And I always say to players, if I leave you out and we win, it's about the team, not about the individual, which is everything to the football club.
Back to Friday's game now. We all know the style of play that Connah's Quay utilised. We saw what you did to counter that in the last game, but is there anything differently you have to do in training to prepare for an opponent like Bala, or is it just a case of concentrate on our own game and take it from there?
You do. You always analyse your opposition. We always get the analysis, the footage on a Monday or a Tuesday to plan for the Friday. Every single team is no different. Whether you're at the bottom of the league, whether you're second, you're top, everything's taken into consideration. The only thing that would be different is the amount of footage that we would show the players and discuss with the players. If we feel that we're at home, we play our game, but we need to concentrate on 2 or 3 of their opponents, which we will do. Henry Jones, Venables, 2 excellent players that can get goals. Thames, 17 goals. I think he's got 16, 17 goals. There's 3. So we need to be aware that we need to stop crosses. We need to be aware of second balls from corners and free kicks, because Venables likes to peel around the back. All these things we'll take into consideration. Still a good side. Lots of very difficult opponents in their team, and we need to be wary of them.
And then finally, Scott, as always, how are things looking availability-wise?
Yeah, availability, we've give a couple of players a rest over the last week or so we'll be looking at getting them into training on Thursday, but they'll continue their rest period at the moment, and hopefully we should have everybody available on Friday.